I'm about to pull out his switchboard curtains.
Man, I'm glad people realize that Jack Harlow album sucks ass. Now we can get past all this hype stuff talking about. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Well, at least he won't be dropping an album anytime soon, so editor, let's take a look at what comes out on Friday. God fucking damn it. Are you sure there isn't anything else coming out and you're not just wanting me to review this because you like it? Well, looks like I don't have a choice. So if you didn't just hear, the sad guitar pop rap man himself, Post Malone, has returned with his latest project, 12 Carat Toothache, being a mix of sad melancholy sounds and strong vocals to make for a fairly decent album. Alright, so for starters, I'll say that this is a pretty solid improvement from his previous project, Hollywood's Bleeding, with his previous project being a bit messy and lacking direction, but with this project I feel like he does try to take in a more serious tone, such as with his problems with alcohol on the track Love Hate Letter to Alcohol, but on the other hand he's still carrying that pop rap sound that I'm not a big fan of from Post personally, with me personally feeling like it's something that he should have been able to outgrow by now, especially with some of the tracks that he does by himself on this project, seeming like some of his best work and will work a lot more for him if he really wants to show that change and growth in his music. But for what it's worth, tracks such as Euthanasia, When I'm Alone, and Waiting for a Miracle are definitely my favorites, with Post delivering these incredible vocals and really showing himself to be a really good singer and songwriter, taking a more emotional toll on Euthanasia, going back to his alcohol addiction, how strong of a hold it's got on him, or his relationship issues on When I'm Alone and how much that hurts him mentally. And although some of the tracks on this project seem to take this pop rock sound and replace another usual pop trap sound that we're used to hearing from Post, once I got into the lying undertone of these tracks, I feel like it helped paint a better picture for what I was listening to, though not in the most creative or groundbreaking way, but it still makes for something listenable. But as for the production, for the majority it was either pop rap or full-on pop beats that took over this album, with the only exceptions being Waiting for a Miracle, Euthanasia, Reputation, or Lemon Tree, with those either taking this somber sound with either the guitar or piano taking over the instrumental. But as stated before, I do wish that Post would have went away from the pop sound to really show his improvement as an artist, and try to make this more into an emotional art piece instead of having these forced hits tossed in such as Cooped Up or One Right Now. But the mixing was okay, with this project being heavy with reverb, but the vocals are crisp and doesn't seem to drown out the beat or vice versa. But as for the features, they were okay, with the most disappointing one having to be Roddy Ricch on the track Cooped Up, with it seeming like he just doesn't really bring anything to this track that really makes it any better than what it could have been, which is disappointing to see due to how much hype Roddy had when it first started to pop off in his career. But as for the others, there was Doja Cat on I Like You, with this seeming like the perfect song for her style of rapping and persona, with her delivering pretty well alongside a Gunna feature in the next song, I Cannot Be, which I'm gonna be honest isn't one of my favorite tracks, with him dishing out a short verse that doesn't really do too much for me, but for what it's worth, it stays on theme and floats with the beat. But overall, while this project wasn't anything too crazy to bring to the table, it was still okay for what we got. It was a solid improvement from Hollywood's Bleeding, although my main issue is that I really wish you'd just take a leap away from the pop rap sound and go with something new for whatever he has planned in the future, with him showing that he obviously has the ability to do that. So to put this on a scale, I'm giving this a low 6 out of 10, being something that won't exactly stick in my rotation, but I know that it'll stick to somebody's. But how do you guys feel about Post Malone's latest album? What would you rate it? Let me know down in the comments, or liking and subscribing. Make sure to follow my IG and Twitter, and if you like the illustrations used in this video, make sure to follow the artist as well because she's dope. On that note, I'll see you on Monday when I free Young Thug from Fulton County. Peace.
Excuse me, Your Honor. May I use the restroom, or I need to be here? I've been holding it for a long time.